Project 3, developing your lineage motif solo. It all first started when my mom met my dad and created me. Hi, I'm Tavasia Hoey, and it has been so hard trying to figure out my lineage. So starting this project was super hard. I reached out to my parents and family members just to see if they had any knowledge that could help me through this process. Thankfully, I had a cousin who had already started the ancestry, and she even did the DNA test to get a head start. Unfortunately, there was no significant, I guess you could say, cultural tie to any form of dance. A lot of the ancestors that I ended up finding out about actually were just here in North Carolina and South Carolina. Many of my ancestors past 1850 who were African American did not have any records. I am blessed to be able to say that I am the 5th generation on both sides when I was born, and I was able to meet my great-great-grandparents. But there was nothing significant as far as a cultural tradition or cultural form of movement that they identified with. On my dad's side, I had a lot of mulatto ancestors, and it even boiled down to like a specific white and black individual who created my family tree, but unfortunately I could not identify necessarily where that Caucasian person came from. As we all know, lots of files for African Americans during those times were not considered because we were not considered humans. So it was kind of hard for me to find anything. So I ended up calling my godmother, and she was like, yeah, we're Cherokee Indian on this side of the family and blah, blah, blah. And I finally found, I guess, the missing link to the tree. Unfortunately, there were no documents that were that could have been very specific to as far as where or like anything of that nature. This was like a very eye-opening project on how me as an African American, it's just hard, like, to figure out where we come from, where we truly come from. I think once I got to the point where I couldn't figure out anymore, it really hit me at how undervalued my people were here in this country, and still are today. With that being said, I decided to go ahead and look up Cherokee Native American dances and learn from that.
African Americans in particular are the original victims of identity theft. When we were taken from the shores of West and Central Africa, we lost everything that identified who we were. Our names, our languages, our family connections, our ancestral connections. And so we're here today, and there's this void, there's this identity void that exists. Genealogical records only take us so far, because we weren't recorded as human beings until the 1870 census. We can't use these traditional records to find our family and our connection on the continent of Africa. We can find out that we're African, but we already know that. What we want to know is the people that we descend from, with the traditions and the values and the beliefs and practices that have informed us in ways that we would never know otherwise. If you don't know where you're from, you cannot know who you are. And that is the first step in being free.